All right, here we go. So this is actually probably what you will be seeing when you first log into Blackboard. And you'll be clicking this one for our class, and we've got the summer class in the class number up there as well. So a couple of things I'm going to start with, content. So if you're used to the old one, a lot of these things were just along the left side, and now they're along the top. So that's like one difference. I'm going to put student preview in here. Hopefully this will be able to show you more of what you will see. Okay. All right. Fabulous. Okay. So this is something that all courses have. So you'll probably see the little owl with class information and resources. And we've got a start here. Okay, in start here, you've got a number of different things. A lot of this information is repeated and posted in more than one place. So you'll be able to see this stuff. Course information, my information, contact information, just a picture of me. So you have a picture. This is my introduction video, which you can certainly play. It just gives you a little bit more information about myself if you are so inclined. Not a requirement. Class syllabus. Here's some helpful tips on Blackboard. This comes preloaded, so you probably would see this in some of your other classes. This posting is not unique to my class. Course grading scale and rationale. This information is also on the syllabus. The purpose, structure, and sequencing of this course. This is also on the syllabus. Communication expectations also on the syllabus. Worth going over though. Blackboard announcements are important, obviously, pay attention to those. How I am available to meet with students is through Microsoft Teams or Zoom. You can schedule, and you'll see this booking link in many places. I have it posted in 2 different places here alone, but you'll see it in my syllabus, and you'll see it in many different places. And I have it linked to my signature on every email that I send. So you will be able to find this. Please use this booking link, because what it does is it links directly to my calendar, and it will show you what's available based on what other people have booked. So it makes it really smooth, and it updates in real time for me so that I don't double book anything. Course guidelines and procedures. Again, this is also on the syllabus. I do not need to read this to you. Course technologies. This is something that is available to you. I'll probably need to do a little bit of editing here, so just ignore that. Uh, and then this is pretty standard. The only thing that is not standard for basically all of the other classes that you'll take, because I even removed some of the technologies that we won't be needing or using for this class. The only additional one that I have added to this, oh, shouldn't have done that. Every time I try to click that, it does that. Okay, fine. So anyways, course technologies, Microsoft 365. So that includes all of it. Outlook, email, slideshows, all that good stuff. Blackboard's mobile application, the video conferencing tool, Teams, Google Chrome browser. Again, these are all very, very standard. The only one that I've added is No Red Ink, and No Red Ink is just a website, and the link to access it is right here, and I will probably have that link to access it in more than one place as well. That's the only additional software, and that's all it is software for this class. So there's nothing extra that you have to learn how to do as far as technology goes on my course. It's a remote course, but I feel like for a remote course, it's actually fairly user friendly if you're not a super tech savvy learner. Okay, syllabus, schedule, and contact. Again, I told you that these things would be in more than one place. So I've got the syllabus, the schedule of the course. This is online and asynchronous. Asynchronous means that we never ever meet at the same time as a class, essentially. And that's why all of the assignments will come out on a weekly basis. And you'll notice that some assignments I will make due on like Wednesdays or Sundays. And the only reason that I will make a Wednesday assignment due is mostly because I want you to complete one thing before you complete the next thing, which is why I will sometimes have a forced sequencing in some of the modules that you will take, because I want to make sure that you have the information and the skills that I'm presenting to you that will help you be successful in the assignment that you'll get after you work through that. So the schedule is asynchronous, which means you can do it at your own pace, essentially, but on a week to week schedule. So the fact that it's asynchronous doesn't mean that you can do week 6 this week. That won't be posted. You'll need to work on week 1 this week. But if you are a night owl and you want to do all of your homework from 11 p.m. to 2 a.m., and that's the only time that you want to work on it, you can do that. That's fine. So that's what the asynchronous means. Again, contact information is available here. I've mentioned previously, I do work a day job. I basically work 8 a.m. to 5 p.m. Monday through Friday. And then only major holidays like this Friday, being 4th of July, I'll have that day off. But those are the hours that I work that I'm basically unavailable, but I will check my Western email throughout my own work day, because that's something that I can reply to even while I'm doing my day job. So and then these are my office hours. We can we can meet remote. If you have questions, if you're struggling, if you're even upset or confused by anything in my class, please set up a time and let's chat about it, because that usually helps everything. I can kind of help you figure out what is a priority, what's important, that sort of thing. These are my office hours. So these are the times that I'm available. But these are also my office hours, as far as like, this is what is available before I start getting booked up by students. So if you see something less than these hours, it just means that I have other meetings with students at those times. But these are the hours. If for some reason these hours do not work for you, and I know that they're kind of weird hours, but if you have a day job like me, these might actually work really well for you. If you absolutely need to meet in the middle of the day, I do have 1 or 2 instructors who are dedicated to student support. Erin Murphy Lopez is one of them. So I do have a couple of instructors who are on campus and available during regular business hours that could also meet with you if you're struggling. So don't hesitate to reach out. Just shoot me an email and say, look, I can't make any of your office hours. Who could I meet with? And I'll set you up with a contact, because we do have other support too. Ideally, I'd want to talk to you myself, but we do have some options for you if that does not work. So that is the syllabus and schedule. Student resources. Okay, so student resources. 3 of these things are just standard: Learning Commons, Western Support Services, and Student Academic Help. Those are 3 standard ones that come on basically every Blackboard, preloaded for all classes. This one I've added, the Western Writing Center. This is a fabulous resource. I cannot tell you how important it is. As an English teacher, as a writing teacher, I had to do my fair share when I was getting my bachelor's and my master's. I had to spend lots of time writing, because that's basically all you do when you major in English, is you spend a lot of time reading and a lot of time writing. The writing centers that colleges and universities have are absolutely invaluable for resources. If you want to meet with somebody one-on-one about a particular draft, and I'm not available at that time, or you want to meet during the day, these folks have appointments where you can do one-on-one scheduled Zoom appointments. Or if you're on campus and you'd prefer to do something in person, they have that too. The critical point for using the Western Writing Center is you need to plan ahead and you need to schedule. And I'll give you some pointers on that, but I will give you the due dates of when things are due. And I would say schedule your appointments now, or like before you start the assignment, schedule the appointment in the future, because if you wait until the day of, they may not have day of appointments available, if that makes sense. So that was something that I've always done too when I was a student. If I know, say like, okay, so I'm writing an essay, and I have an essay and it's going to be due next Friday. I know I'm going to want to get some help on that. I think I'm going to schedule an appointment for Tuesday or Wednesday to meet with them about a draft because it's due on Friday. And I still have over a week because it would be next Tuesday and then next Friday. That type of thing. That's the kind of thinking that will help you get these scheduled and to avoid frustration. You just can't wait till the last minute. There are some drop-in support available too. I'm not going to eliminate that, but I just want to make sure that planning ahead will probably be the best way to get you the help you need when you want it. So those are student resources. All right, moving on to writing and research tools. I can also add the Writing Center to these research tools. These are just the research tools that I have added. So these are, we will go over all of these. I don't want you to be overwhelmed. This is again one of those examples where I am duplicating my efforts. So we will go over school databases for Essay 1. Like that will be an actual module, but my idea, and I know that students have told me this previously, is like once we get past week one or week two, you might be like, oh yeah, I need to go back and review the thesis stuff. And so you don't have to figure out what module was that in. I just post all of my like tutorials on all of the writing topics here. So you can just grab whichever slideshow you might need when you need it. Especially this is basically used for like repeat use. Like after we've already covered it once and you want to go back to something, you can easily find that here. So there's no sequencing here. There's nothing. These are writing and research tools only. So this is not a module. That's the important thing to note, is this is a place where you can kind of like a la carte pick the things that you need refreshers on, or just find them easily. And if there's anything else that anybody wants me to add to the writing and research tools, please tell me. I want to add everything that you guys want. So this is very fluid. I can add much, much more. I just need to know from you guys what you'd like. Okay, so from there on out, you will see week 1. I can also take this off. I have all of the weeks, like I've got like a little week. I've got a module for each week. Each week you will see in that module what is going on. And a lot of times there will be a forced sequence and you have to watch the video and look at the slideshow and then take a quiz. And the only reason that I make you take a quiz is because I have found so many times the students who are not successful in my class, number one, either they just don't log in and they're just not essentially coming to class at all. And the second thing is they will skip right to the assignment before they go over the actual information that they need to do the assignment. And that's crucial. So I will create a quiz to make sure that you are like conscious and actually watch the video and the slideshow. And that way I get to answer the really interesting and important questions that I know you have after you've read the content. So no question is stupid. I will never ever treat anybody poorly if I need to repeat something or anything like that. But what I do want is I want people to actually have looked at the content at least once. If you still have questions or you need something reinforced, of course I'm here to help you. But I want to make sure that that is being done, and that doesn't always happen when we're working in an asynchronous remote setting. So it's kind of like the forced sequencing is kind of a way of mimicking the idea of being in an actual class, because we are humans. And I know that if you can take a shortcut and just like click straight to the assignment, I'm going to say I've done that before. So I have learned to do this mostly to make students more successful in my class. And when I started doing these, class grades went up and the failure rate of my students went down. So that's why I do this, is because it works. I want you to be successful in this class, and it's totally doable. I know all of you can be successful. So that's week 1. Okay, a couple other things I want to show you along the top here. And I have absolutely no idea why it looks like this. I was just trying to find something decent for photos and images. Okay, calendar. Calendar is, I prefer to see it by the month. So you've got that. Obviously, we haven't been meeting. This is beginning of